Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really interesting topic. You brought up the shooting and gun accessories market.
Yeah,
You shared some pretty detailed analysis, and our mission today, basically, is to sift through it all. We're going to pull out the key insights and give you a clear picture of what's actually happening in this industry.
that's right. We've got a great market analysis article here. It really lays out the current scene, future projections, the main companies involved. It's a solid base.
Okay, great. Let's jump right in then. So the analysis says back in 2023, this market was already worth USD 561.5 million. Pretty substantial.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not small change.
But the growth forecast is what really catches the eye. It's expected to hit, get this, USD 100 to 293.9 billion by 2032.
Yeah, billion. It's a huge jump.
That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 8.0%. I mean, that's a pretty rapid expansion compared to a lot of other sectors, isn't it?
It really is. And there are a few key things pushing that growth. Well, first, unfortunately, there's a rising demand for personal protection. People are more concerned about safety, so that's one factor.
Right, that makes sense.
Then you've got defense budgets increasing around the world. That obviously impacts the industry.
Okay.
And finally, shooting sports are becoming more popular. Recreational shooting, competitive events, that drives demand for both guns and all the accessories that go with them.
So it's a mix of things, societal concerns, government spending, and hobbies, basically.
Exactly. A confluence, as the analysis puts it.
And it's important to remember, we're not just talking about the firearms themselves here, are we?
No, absolutely not. The sources are clear. This covers pistols, rifles, shotguns, sure, but also ammunition, optics, cleaning kits, holsters, you name it. All the related.
For all sorts of users, too.
Right. Personal defense, law enforcement, military use, hunting, sport shooting. It's a wide net.
So who are the really big fish in this pond right now? The dominant companies.
The analysis points to a few key players holding major market share. Names most people would probably recognize. Smith & Wesson, Sturm, Ruger & Co., Beretta Holding, and All-In Corporation.
Okay, the established heavyweight.
Those are the ones with the biggest current footprint, yeah.
The analysis gets more specific, though, looking at top manufacturers. Let's start with one with an incredible history. Fabbrica d'Armi Pietro Beretta. Almost 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
It's genuinely remarkable, isn't it? Nearly half a millennium making firearms, one of the oldest manufacturers on the planet. They're based in Gardone Valtrompia, Italy.
Wow.
Which itself has this long history tied to arms making. It really says something about their staying power.
Absolutely. And they're not just resting on that history, are they? Their product line is still very diverse.
Oh, yeah. Very diverse. Shotguns, pistols, rifles, plus a whole load of accessories. And their customers are just as varied. Civilians, police forces, military units all over the world.
That kind of global reach across different sectors is pretty impressive.
It is. And you don't last 500 years without a serious focus on quality.
Anything not.
The sources really stress their dedication to precision engineering, craftsmanship, really tight quality control. You know, in this line of work, reliability is everything.
Yeah, non-negotiable, really.
So that focus has been key to their longevity, serving everyone from hunters to soldiers.
What about their size, financially speaking? What kind of numbers are we talking about for Beretta?
Well, the estimates put their annual revenue around $900 million.
Okay.
And the analysis suggests about $700 million of that comes specifically from shooting and firearms accessories. So that's clearly their core business.
And they're still innovating. The report mentions something about smart firearm technology.
Yeah, that's a really interesting recent development highlighted. It suggests they're actively looking forward, integrating tech. Could be things like, advanced safety features, maybe biometric locks, stuff like that.
Keeps them competitive.
Exactly, and it contributes to their leadership. The report estimates their global market share at roughly 20%, a major player, no doubt.
20%, okay. Let's switch gears. Heckler Koch, H&K. That name carries a certain weight, often linked with, high-end military-grade stuff.
That's a fair assessment. H&K is German, based in Oberndorf am Neckar. They've definitely built a reputation for high-performance firearms, pistols, rifles, submachine guns, even grenade launchers. They're known for precision and durability under tough conditions.
Yeah, I mean, the MP5, The G36 rifle. Those are iconic firearms. You see them everywhere in movies and news reports.
They really are flagship products. They showcase H&K's engineering skill and focus on innovation, precision, making things last. That's why so many military and police forces use them.
And like Beretta, they're not just a German thing, they're global.
Absolutely global reach. Military, law enforcement, and civilian customers worldwide. And safety and reliability are paramount for them. They apparently do exhaustive testing to make sure their gear works when it absolutely has to.
It's interesting, the report also notes their focus on ethical production and even sustainability. You don't always associate that with this industry.
It is interesting, maybe shows a shift, or at least an awareness. Financially, H&K's estimated annual revenue is around $800 million,
Okay.
with about $600 million of that tied to shooting and gun accessories. And they're also bringing out new products focused on improving safety and how well the firearms work. Their market share is estimated around 18%.
Right, 18%. Okay, let's cross the Atlantic. Remington Ammunition, a classic American name if ever there was one.
Oh, definitely. A real institution in American shooting culture. They're technically a subsidiary now under the Remington Arms trademark based in Lenuque, Arkansas. But yeah, a historic and major ammo maker in the U.S.
They make ammo for pretty much everything, right?
Pretty much. Handguns, shotguns, rifles. They specialize in catering to law enforcement, competitive shooters, hunters. A huge range of needs.
The name just screams dependability to a lot of American shooters, I think.
It does. They have that long-standing reputation for quality, whether it's centerfire, rimfire, or shot shell ammo. That history of reliability is a core part of their brand.
And are they investing in R&D too, like the others?
Right.
Keeping things fresh?
Yep. The analysis mentions significant ongoing R&D. They're working on improving performance, precision, safety, adapting to what shooters want now, all while keeping those strict quality controls in place.
Distribution must be huge for them in the U.S.
Massive. A really strong network of dealers and retailers across the country, plus a global presence, too. They make their ammo easy to find. The report puts their total revenue around $700 million,
Wow.
with about $550 million from the shooting and firearms accessory side. And a recent push mentioned is introducing more advanced ammo lines for both civilian and military use. Their market share is pegged at around 16%.
16%. Okay, another big U.S. player, Sturm. Ruger & Co. Just Ruger, usually.
Yeah.
Known for having a ton of different models.
That's their calling card, yeah. A major U.S. manufacturer based in Southport, Connecticut. They are famous for just how many firearms they offer: rifles, pistols, revolvers, shotguns. The report mentions over 400 variations across more than 40 product lines.
400. That's a lot of choice. What defines the Ruger brand, would you say?
The analysis highlights their commitment to American craftsmanship, innovation, and quality. They serve a really broad audience: recreational shooters, hunters, law enforcement, personal defense buyers. Their stuff is generally known for being reliable, durable, and offering good value for money.
And they seem to focus on the customer experience, too.
Yeah, the report mentions good customer service, warranties, that kind of thing, which definitely helps build loyalty. And interestingly, like H&K, there's a mention of focusing on sustainability and efficiency in their U.S.-based manufacturing.
Good to know. What about their financials?
Approximate annual revenue is about $650 million, with around $500 million coming from shooting and firearms accessories. Their market share is estimated at roughly 15%. And their strategy seems to be continuous innovation and expanding that already huge product line.
15%. Okay, last of the big five, American Outdoor Brands, Inc. The name doesn't immediately scream guns.
Right, because they're more diversified. They're based in Columbia, Missouri, and they own a whole portfolio of brands. Some are definitely in shooting, like Smith & Wesson, which is huge.
Oh, right. Smith & Wesson is under their umbrella.
Yep. And also brands like Caldwell, known for shooting rests and targets, and Crimson Trace, they make laser sights. But they also have brands more focused on general outdoor gear.
So a broader strategy.
Exactly, developing products for both outdoor rec and shooting sports, with an emphasis on quality and reliability across the board. So their lineup includes firearms, but also hunting gear, outdoor equipment, gun cleaning stuff. It's varied.
And they must reach a lot of different customers through all those brands.
They do. They use a wide distribution network in e-commerce. Their total revenue is around $600 million, with about $450 million attributed to shooting and firearms accessories specifically.
Yeah.
And recent growth drivers mentioned are strategic acquisitions, buying other complementary companies, and just expanding their accessory lines. Their market share estimate is around 14%.
14%. So those five Berettas, H&K, Remington, Ruger, American Outdoor Brands, they really dominate, holding something like what, 83% of the market combined, roughly?
Yeah, by these estimates, it's a significant chunk. But the analysis doesn't stop there. It also points out some emerging companies that could shake things up.
Ah, the potential disruptors. Who are we talking about?
Well, a few names come up. Taurus International Manufacturing, FN Herstal, Savage Arms, Wyrock Sport, and Webley and Scott.
Okay, let's quickly run through those. Taurus, what's their angle?
Price seems to be a key factor for Taurus. They offer competitive pricing, which appeals to budget-minded buyers. They've also shown some innovation, especially in revolvers and handguns.
Right. And F. and Herstal. They're Belgian, right? Big military contract.
Exactly. FN Herstal has a very strong reputation and presence in military and law enforcement globally. They're constantly advancing their technology, so they have real potential to gain more ground in those professional markets.
Makes sense. Savage Arms, I associate them with accurate rifles.
That's their niche. High-quality, accurate rifles, often at pretty reasonable prices. They seem to be targeting competitive shooters and hunters specifically, broadening their line for those groups.
Wyrock. That sounds German. Air guns.
You got it. Wyrock and Wyrock Sport. Renowned for precision air rifles and handguns, they have a dedicated following. In places where air guns are big for sport, they could definitely grow.
And Webley and Scott. That's a classic British name, isn't it? Making a comeback.
Seems like it. A historic brand re-entering with modern designs, they might appeal to people looking for that mix of tradition and new tech, leveraging their long history.
So yeah, it's not just a 5-horse race.
Yeah.
These others could definitely make inroads.
Absolutely. The landscape could shift.
Now, the analysis also gives some advice, basically, for any new companies trying to break into this market. What does it take to succeed?
Several key things are highlighted. First, technology and innovation are huge. New entrants really need to invest in R&D to create products that offer something new, maybe better comfort, efficiency, advanced features.
Using new materials and stuff?
Exactly. The report mentions using things like advanced aluminum alloys or carbon composites, materials you might see in aerospace, to make products lighter but still really durable.
Okay, so tech is one. What else?
Partnerships are critical. Building strong relationships, maybe with distributors or even landing contracts with law enforcement or military buyers. That gives you stable business and helps you understand customer needs better. Tailoring solutions is a plus.
And quality control must be absolutely top priority.
Non-negotiable. Rigorous quality checks and getting the right certifications like ISO standards or AS9100 for aerospace quality are vital to build trust. Safety and reliability are paramount.
The analysis mentions sustainability again here too.
Yeah, it suggests that offering eco-friendly options, maybe using recyclable materials, could be a way to stand out, appealing to environmentally conscious consumers.
Interesting. And finally, the basics. Price and delivery.
Pretty much. Competitive pricing is key, obviously, without sacrificing that quality. And having a really efficient, adaptable supply chain to deliver on time and manage costs effectively, that's crucial for getting chosen as a supplier.
Okay, that makes sense. And just to recap, the analysis uses a few core criteria when comparing these companies, right?
Yeah, it boils down to the diversity and innovation of their product portfolio, their market share and brand recognition, how much influence and trust they have, their financial health, revenue growth, profitability, R&D investment, and finally, ethical practices and sticking to regulations, which impacts reputation and risk.
Got it. So if we pull back and look at the whole market picture again, what are the main takeaways?
Well, the market is definitely growing, driven by that mix of personal safety concerns, regulations, and the popularity of shooting sports. There's a clear trend across the board towards innovation, better safety, and higher performance.
It's competitive.
Very competitive. You have these dominant, experienced players with huge product lines, but you also have these newer entrants bringing different ideas and strategies. That competition is what keeps driving innovation and growth in the whole sector.
So summing it all up, this deep dive shows the shooting and gun accessories market is, well, significant and it's clearly evolving. You've got the established names leveraging their history and reach, but there's real space for newcomers if they focus hard on innovation, smart partnerships, and really delivering on quality and customer needs.
That covers it pretty well. The big guys aren't resting, but these emerging players and new strategies ensure things will stay dynamic. It's definitely a market to watch.
Definitely. And just to leave you with something to chew on, considering this push towards safety and technology, how do you think the deeper integration of smart features digital tech, connectivity, whatever that might mean. How might that truly reshape this market in the next 5, 10 years? What could that mean for the companies, but also for the people actually using these products?
That's a fascinating question. The possibilities and the implications are pretty profound.
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really appreciate you bringing these sources and your curiosity to the table today.
My pleasure.
Until next time.